Hey everybody, this is Trey Michael, and this one is going to be done a little bit different. I have been trying to find the right words. It feels a little awkward. It feels a little awkward expressing myself this way. The name of this segment is going to be called Breaking Out of the Box. It's the norm society places upon us. It's the identities that we have to hold firm to. I believe that it's these boxes, these human-made traps that we allow society or the collective to place us in. I'm gonna start shooting films. I'm gonna try to the best of my ability. Hopefully I can build a team around it, of identifying some of the boxes that we label ourselves as. I wanna explain this into, I'm from the South, so something that we can relate to or we've identified with as being Southern human beings in the South of America is race. I want to talk about right now quickly a way that you could see race and see how we've put ourselves in the race box. And that's just one of trillions of boxes that we identify with. And it's one of the reasons why we can't come out of it. It's one of the reasons why no matter which party you vote for, you're still going to have the same chaotic state of being, is because we can't unself-identify. I'm gonna hurt two political parties. I'm gonna scoff. I'm gonna make light of two political factors. First, I'm going to say this. This is again from probably what they call the liberal. Black Lives Matter. BLM. Black Lives Matter. And Black lives do matter. Protests occur in the streets, rightfully, because white officers killed black suspects, black innocent people for the sake of the narrative. And they marched, and they being humanity, the people that identified with that box of Black Lives Matter. They marched, they protested. It's a little hot in the garage, I want to cut the fan on, but we'll keep going. And there was a side on the right side they called the far right that said, this is racism. They shouldn't be screaming Black Lives Matter. I'm going to speak as a liberal. How dare them say all lives matter when we're trying to talk about how our black lives matter? That's just not right. And I agree. It's not right that a group of people are trying to bring awareness to black people being fatally gunned down disproportionately by police officers. And I agree 100% with that far left liberal group with that matter. But then when I pose this statement, which I have to say, even though I'm standing for liberal on this perspective, why when that group on the right says, you say Black Lives Matter, but you won't say that when they're being gunned down in Savannah, Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, Chicago, Illinois, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, New Orleans, by people that are not white, but people that are black. Well, because I identify in this scenario with what they call far left or the liberal group, then I cannot say that they have an honest point over here, because they're the far right, they're the white supremacists. Right? So now I have to disregard every word that that side says because I identify as a left-wing side of the Democratic Party. And I would say to that person, being me, balanced, neutral, not a part of either, why can't both sides not choose a side? And one person says, you have a valid point, and you have a valid point. Let's take the valid points, mush those things together, and let's come with a solution. Let's let all the ones that we disagree with, we'll hash those out later. Let's go to the ones that we agree on. But you'll never get to an agreement because you're far left and they're far right, and the system has you trapped in your box. Now I'm going to portray to be the far right, the Trump 2020, MAGA baby, woo! Ain't taking my guns. Obama's a terrorist. And that's how they would portray those people. The left would portray them on the right. And they say, it's not fair to allow people to come across the border that are violating our rule of thumb by not coming in the correct way. It's a law that we have on the books. These people coming to our southern borders are breaking the law. And I don't feel that the United States is doing something or enough about it. And some of their reasons are we're paying taxes for this group of people. We're having to expend income for a group of people that have not contributed by utilizing the correct actions of law to come into the country that we are currently a part of. And being a far right person, and also being me, balanced, I also say that that is an issue that should be brought to a topic. That we should find a way, if we're going to identify with countries. Again, I don't agree with that, but again, I'm trying to make an example or explain my thought process on the box. But for the sake of identifying with barriers, even though it's just sea and land, but you know, who am I to say that? It's an imaginary line that says America, Mexico. That if that's a rule, that we need to abide by that rule. And the far left would tell me I'm a bigot. I dislike Hispanics, and I'm a racist. And I would disagree with that if that is my argument. But then when the far left asks this question that I have for the far right, and I have to place it in this terminology. If those were white babies, some named Susan and Anna and Lisa, Kimberly, and the father's name was Tom and Ty and Sam and Mike, and they could speak English, and they said, right there at the Texas border, right there at the Arizona border, with their babies in their arms and their backpacks on, and they say, hey, John in Arizona, man, could you cut a hole in the fence? These guys back here, man, they're cutting heads off. They're trying to make our children smuggle drugs. They're killing us. Our government is corrupt. Just want to get over there, man, and hopefully be able to get a job and feed my family. I can't keep dealing with these barbarians, man. My question to the far right would be, would you help Susie and Tommy, pretty white baby with the blonde hair and the blue eyes, so ravished with their country that that they're willing to cross the rivers, they're willing to be trafficked by coyotes, they're willing to sit in holding facilities that stink. They're willing to risk their lives. And they look just like your children. Would you let them come across the border? If you were far right and you were black, and those was Trey, John, Melvin, Reggie. And they had their children, like mine's Maya and Journey. Looked kind of just like me, like you. Spoke a little bit of language like we spoke. They said, hey, bro, it's hard, man. We just trying to get a job, man. Would you let me over? Just trying to work, man. Risk it all to come across from El Salvador. They're killing our people over there, man. Just trying to get some work, man. Well, no problem. I know you told me it's a correct way to come in, but right now, we're dying right now, man. We're dying right now, bro. Could you help me? Could you just cut a slit in the fence? Come work for you for a little bit of nothing. Less than what the people over there paying. What would you let them in? And I believe that if you really look inside of yourself, outside of the box, of course, of identity politics, because that reflection looks like you, I believe you would. But because you're hell-bent, both sides, on your identity, on staying in the box, you can't admit that truth. I want to make a video that we can look at our truths, and they're ugly. Oh God, humanity? Listen, before anybody can judge you, just remember this. Since Cain and Abel and probably pre that timeline, human beings have been killing other human beings on this planet. Did I say that? So before somebody judges you about your sexual orientation, somebody judges you that you're supposed to be a Christian but you're cursed. He smoked a cigarette, he's got a Black and Mild. Oh, let's judge him. He said the N-word. He called somebody the C-word. Let's boycott them all. Just remember, we human beings kill people. So before we get to the nitpicks, just remember our species is flawed as is. But if we're gonna work on any of them, we gotta get rid of this social norm standard where you have to be sick and keep it inside. It's like going to the doctor and all of the illnesses inside. He says, let me check your vitals. You say, no, you can't check anything inside, but I need you to fix me. No, he has to take a look inside. He's got to take samples, blood work, check your saliva. He needs to see what's inside you if they're ever going to fix you. See, but what they're trying to do in society right now is to keep you secluded inside of your box so that you can never express yourself. Energy and motions is emotions. Let the energy out so that someone can identify the energy and assist you, because you're being able to speak about what your perception of reality is. And perception is reality to certain people. It does not mean it is the reality. But the only way to fix a flawed perception is to be able to allow a person to express what they are. I'm saying all of that, and I'm saying it slowly, hoping that you grasp what I'm saying, because the box is the reason we're trapped inside of the matrix. Free yourself. Join me on my new segments that I'm getting ready to push out called The Box. I'm going to try to make them interactive and entertaining, so it's not just a monologue of me speaking right here. And hopefully together we can identify some of the trillions of boxes. And believe me, we will never have enough footage. to describe all of the boxes from all of these millennia of life that's processed through our DNA, through our RNA, through our personal experiences, through the books that we read, through the music that we listen to. We are being programmed in boxes. I want to free ourselves from a few of them. Hey, even if we get 5, that's 5 less boxes that we're living in than we were 3 years ago. Let's take the walk together. Humanity is not going to heal itself. We must heal humanity by first healing ourselves. Hey, listen, I know this was a very odd, strange, it's 2 something in the morning. I just had this on my mind, had this on my heart, wanted to share it with you. A little food for thought. Hey, like I always say, live, love, laugh, and namaste, namaste, namaste. He's got a black him out. Oh, I can't listen. Peace, man.